Okay, so first of all I should apologise for the lateness of today's video, but given the choice between spending some time with my new nephew and doing this, I made the right decision. That aside, we're going to be talking about what's been happening with YouTube, and Carlos Maza, Stephen Crowder, and a bunch of other people that have been dragged down. There are a number of creators that have been demonetised. This has been going on for a while. I know Cognitive Thought was once. He had it reinstated and has lost it again. I don't think he cares, to be fair though. Although I'm sure if he wants to, he'll make the changes. There are many creators that were hit, as I stated. They were all mentioned on Irate Bear's Breakfast with Bear stream this morning, but I believe he's unlisted that already. The most prominent creators I know of would include Stephen Crowder, James Alsop, Sinatra Says, Tailed Feature. I would be very surprised if Dankula's second channel wasn't demonetised. There are many other creators that were hit, but I cannot off the top of my head remember them, because I'm doing this off the top of my head and with a certain air of caution. And I use that word because I somehow have been and am a somewhat stealthy creator. I've been told this many times because they don't understand how after all these years I haven't been demonetised, how I'm not a bigger channel. So I'm cautious because I don't want to tempt fate. Because of that, I'm going to have to make some changes. The long and short of what has happened is, and many people blame Carlos Maza for this, is that he, a Vox writer, someone that's featured in some of their videos on YouTube that have been dismantled by many creators, Crowder one of them, has been going off on one on Team YouTube. Now, rather surprisingly, Team YouTube have been responding to him. I assume it's because of the check mark in his name. Because of this, many think he is the straw that broke the camel's back in forcing YouTube to introduce new terms of service to their partnership program where people get paid, and so he has become the subject of much criticism. Now I, upon looking at this closely, do not believe he is the straw that broke the camel's back. I believe he is at best a patsy, the scapegoat. Everything implies this has been going on and planned since around January, where new terms of service were posited, including rather vague words like borderline in the hate speech areas. Because of that, people are being flagged, demonetised, and losing subs upon upload. I am one of those people. While my social blade for the last week has looked good, the 4 weeks prior to that were horrendous. Some of the channels that have been hit have been given reasons and been given outs, in the sense that they are then able to reobtain remonetization. Monetization? Yeah, which is great. Some won't do that. Some will continue regardless. But others will. Some say this is an attack on the right. I'm not going to be dragged into that. This does feel quite uncomfortable. For me, though, it comes from an entirely selfish position of, I have spent 4 years building this channel to get to 48,000 subscribers, which is 48,000 more than I ever thought I'd ever get. To be able to say that this is a part-time job on top of the real work I do, to make it so that I am comfortable. But now, because they've made it uncomfortable, I have to make some decisions. Suggestions were made to me that included altering the rewards on Patreon, and I'm going to do that. I'm going to add a new one for live streaming. Now, I did use the live stream with patrons at the $20 mark. I think I'm going to have to change that. I do a movie night as well. I really need to do that more often. I should be shilling Teespring more, Subscribestar, and all that. I should. But also I need to alter the content that comes on this channel and the content that goes on other channels. So for those that don't know, I have 4 channels in total, which is a lot of channels, yes, I know. I built this channel, it is my what you call bread and butter. One of my other channels is a political live stream channel. I'm going to be moving political videos there. That's not to say you won't hear one here every so often, but controversial subjects like politics get me demonetized straight away. They are rarely monetized on this channel, so why not put it on a channel that I only really get super chats for anyway. The gaming channel, I'm going to be streaming regularly 3 times a week as I do, but I'm also going to increase the number of streams I do on Twitch, because why not? If I have the opportunity, I should take advantage of it. I should take this more seriously. And the other channel is more me just once a week uploading a creepypasta. I'm not going to be making changes to that. It is, if anything, a chance for me to explore H.P. Lovecraft and appease those who find my voice to be quite attractive. For those who have been hit, for those who have been struck, for those who have been given outs. I am so sorry. I don't hold Carlos Maza responsible, though. Maybe I'm taking the wrong position. Maybe I'm taking the stance that YouTube have been doing this for months. We knew about it. And Carlos Maza is just a very gobby person who has managed to get under the skin of everyone. I believe one of his tweets included complaining to YouTube about the t-shirts that Crowder sells, which has a rather unsavory message towards socialism. I'm not going to repeat it, and I urge you not to put it in the comments. There was a rumour that comments would get people demonetised. I like being monetised. It means I now have to be very careful. I'm having to put more consideration into the words I say so that I don't use profanity, because I'm almost certain even if I did and bleeped it out, YouTube would still demonetise it because of the implied profanity. I'd be very surprised if this wasn't demonetised because it's a controversial subject. But I bothered to read the terms of service, I bothered to read what was going on, and I don't think Maza's responsible. So people going off on him, by all means do so, but don't do so thinking he is the person that caused this. We've had the adpocalypse once before. We've had many adpocalypses, in fact, where it has gotten increasingly more difficult for either new channels to get started and monetized, or for channels that are monetized to stay monetized. I'm lucky. I haven't gone a single day without being monetized. I've uploaded videos that have been demonetized, and we should now address that. All the videos that get demonetized on this channel are those that don't fall within the terms of service or are considered, or not terms of service, the partnership program rules. I have to consider unlisting them as a viable option to protect this channel. Even if this channel gets demonetized, and I will say this outright now, I am not going to stop because I love what I do. I love making videos, I love the editing process, I love the recording, I love putting my opinion out there, even if it is deemed middle of the road by many people. This, to me, has made me feel happier than anything I've ever done before. And I wanted to be a doctor, but now I'm doing this, and I love this. You don't make much money, which is fine. There isn't much acclaim because I use an avatar, so the name, the face, no, it's Omegon. But I'm very proud of this, and I know that I enjoy it, which is a key element here. So why stop without the monetary incentive? The monetary incentive doesn't exist. The monetary reward for what I have done, which makes my life easier, yes, that is important. But it is not going to stop me. I will still be streaming political stuff on the Moist Ski Live channel. I'll still be gaming over on the Omegon Plays channel. I'm going to link some tweets down below and some channels that have been hit. Please consider having a look at what has transpired. Please consider subscribing to those that have been hit. The majority of them are good people. Whether you agree or disagree with their politics, I don't care. I don't care what people's politics are. This is a case where everyone is being hit in some way, and there is a legitimate concern that it will come to harm many more creators in the near future, as more are funneled through this filter to ascertain whether or not they are worthy of monetization. The claim that this could be an attack on small creators has a considerable amount of weight and legitimacy behind it. So to those who are creators that are working hard, that are worried, I only ask that you be cautious with what you put out there, because it's all well and good taking a stand, but you are a small creator like I, and even if we all rallied, we are still only small creators. Sometimes you have to take a step back and regroup, readjust, to still be able to say the same thing but differently. Essentially, be a poet, if that is what you want to do. I'm going to rejig Patreon, as I said. I'm going to rejig everything, so that I may have to shill it. I don't like doing that. It makes me very uncomfortable, in fact. I think that does for a lot of people, but one must consider their future if they want to succeed. And I have to consider mine because I really want to succeed. As a final thing, I think it's worth pointing out that Carlos Maza did go absolutely balmy on Steven Crowder, while claiming harassment to then unironically encourage his fans to do the same thing to Crowder. With YouTube taking an obvious side, they have shown a bias. By doing it in this way, they have shown that they are more than happy to align with those who would use bad tactics. It is worrisome. So if you are getting involved in this, with the aggressive negotiations taking place on Twitter, which is just laughable at best, with Carlos Maza, might I recommend, no matter how big or small you are, if you are interested in protecting yourself, you simply step away from it and focus on your channel, because this is not a democracy on YouTube, is it? It is a case that we follow their rules, or we find an alternative platform.